Hello everyone, my name is NoodleHouse and we are back on Raging Loop. And after several failed attempts, I was finally making some progress putting this bike back together. Afternoon had passed and it was almost evening. At the rate I was going even, I'd definitely be working while it was dark. Would that even be possible? It might be way past midnight by the time I was done. Jimmy might dump me for that. Man, that sure was hard. The plaza I'd worked in was now totally empty, there was no one around me. All I could hear was the wind, the frogs, and the tools in my hand. It was desolate, to say the least. I suddenly felt really weak. It made me keenly aware of being in a place that I didn't belong, and I was prepared to escape. It was an oppressive atmosphere, like the bars of a cage were slowly swinging shut. What's this, Harawaki? Think you're going to get attacked or something? I tried to laugh it off, but it didn't work. As I became more conscious of my surroundings, I began to hear things I hadn't noticed before. Maybe a wolf. I heard a voice. Someone was singing. It was an inarticulate little girl's voice. I stopped my work. Before I knew it, I put my tools down and gone to looking for the source. Was I that starved for human presence? Or did that malaise make me feel like I was in danger? I walked down the hill to where the song came from. Passing the tall grass, I arrived. Guardians are here. It was a strange sight. The field was covered in tall grass. There were countless rocks peeking out of it. Unlike the boulders all over Yasumizu, these were only up to my waist. They looked like gravestones. Six, the badger hums along, great within the ray of bricks. The field extended into the dusky, I don't know why dusky seems so weird to me, into the dusky western sky before ending at a cliff. This was the lowest spot in Yasumizu, the border to Saranaga. There was a large pine tree at the edge. Ate the donut, baloney, rice, snows in the... Fuck me, words. I don't know why my brain's like, I haven't heard baloney before. Snows in the mountain. The evening sun, the stones, and the pine's shadow gave the field a strange aura. A little girl was running through it. Her steps were awkward, but we can't see that. At this moment, this space was alien. I felt like it was looking at a Giorgio de Chirico painting. The place felt like it didn't belong in this world. Suddenly, I came to understand that this place was special. It was a sacred, mystical ground where no outsiders were welcome. The girl fell. Are you okay? I run with no hesitation, arrow, to the little girl. What? Help up, half-crying little girl, muddy clothes, new graze on the band-aid covered kneecap. What? I console little girl, push away, run. What the fuck? Someone appears, girl saw once me. Prepare for the feast when the evening mist arrives. Girl weave incomprehensible phrase, hide behind little girl, fear and hostility, eyes. Run. Girl hug little girl, warned me. What the fuck? You probably won't make it, but run. Me girl behind missed. I'm sorry, it's so funny to me because it's shit that I do where I just start making sentences sound incoherent by mixing up the words. Me girl behind missed. Missed. Miss. Me girl behind missed. Miss. Me, turn around, run. Where? Anywhere. In a daze, I came back to the plaza. Suddenly, Chiemi shook me, bringing me back to my senses. Where were you? Sorry, I'll finish the job now. It's too late, you idiot. You won't make it in time. You gotta hide. I can understand what she was getting at. What are you doing? Go to your room right now. But Harawaki-san's... Forget the outsider. Old man Kanzo and I'll check the other places. Stop wasting time and go back to yours. I can understand. What were these two doing? What scared them so much? It didn't take long for me to find out. I looked down the hill from Saranaga beyond the field I'd just been and came a rising haze. It was so dense that you could easily call it mist. It moved strangely, like a living creature as it flowed into the plaza. Harawaki-san, over here. Chemi pulled me by the hand. What's going on? Oh, my head. It feels like it weighs a ton. Deal with it. You gotta find a place you can lock the doors. You'll die if you don't. What do you mean? Tell me. Please don't ask questions, just do as I say, just this once. Albeit hesitantly, I did as she said. What the fuck's going on? We ran up the hill and crossed a rice field path until we made it to a simple outhouse. This should be fine. Seriously, what's going on? And sure, that was a hell of a miss, but this won't protect me, right? Listen, there's no time to explain, so please just do what I say and only that. Get in there, lock yourself in, stay inside the whole night and don't make a sound. My mind was pretty clear by this point, so much that I began to wonder why it was clouded until now. Because of that, I could easily understand exactly what Chiemi just said, despite how weird it was. I could also see she was really desperate. Okay, well I guess I'm gonna hide in the outhouse since I can't do any fucking thing else. Well, that's a hell of an order. Haruaki-san. Just so you know, pulling that off is pretty hard. When I do, I like a good reward and an explanation. Sure, I'll tell you everything. So please, survive the night. That means she's gonna fucking die. The words, the teary smile, none of it looked fake. See you then. You gotta hurry, right? Yeah, Haruaki-san. What? I'll tell you tomorrow. Leaving me one hell of a homework assignment, Chiemi ran off. The plaza was covered in the mist by now. I could see it rising to take over the fields too. Anyway, a promise was a promise. 10 minutes later, I began to wonder what I was doing. Was I really supposed to spend the night here? This outhouse wasn't like a prefab you'd find in a construction site. It was just a shack built by hand. It merely happened to have a toilet unit installed. It was Japanese style, so I couldn't even sit down. All I could do was stand. Another problem, it was a type of toilet that periodically had to be pumped empty, so the smell was really bad. Sure, there was a cover on the toilet unit, but without any kind of air freshener anywhere, the smell of ammonia could only do so much. The only good thing about being here was that if I had to go to the toilet, well, mission complete, but what of it? Again, was I really supposed to spend the night here? The question quickly made me realize how stupid this was, and I began making assumptions to make this easier for myself. Was I being pranked, or was everyone here just crazy? Hell, the mist had already filled the surroundings, and there was no way that this shabby outhouse protected me from it. The air here already felt misty and damp. The temperature here was low, so I could still bear it somewhat, but staying here all night would make me all wet. Again, I wasn't safe from the mist. That considered, I'd probably be better off sleeping on the grass outside than staying here. The reasonable part of my mind urged me to stop playing along with these hicks. However, get in there, lock yourself in, stay inside the whole night, don't make a sound. Sure, I'll tell you everything, so please survive the night. My sense of duty made it hard for me to break the promise I'd made to her. Actually, that wasn't quite true. I was more intrigued by the prospect of learning more about this place. Anyway, I took the time to compile what I found out today. This was the Yasumizu settlement, a special part of the Fujiyoshi. It was situated right next to the Saranaga Rapids. The people living here were weird. Chiemi Sarizawa Yasunaga Uribe, his family Kari Uribe and Yoshitsugu Uribe, Chikamochi Kamoshida, Haru Makishima, her granddad Kanzo Makishima, Taya Yamawaka, Takumi Muro, Kiyosanaga Nosato, it seemed like he was from the Kami Fujiyoshi, the place on the other side of the mountain, but for some reason he lived here now. And finally, the old man who cried wolf. Those were the 11 people I'd met, and Chiemi said I had 2 more left. I could only mean that the 2 I'd met by that pine were the ones. Little girl, she was probably the child that strayed into Saranaga yesterday morning. And then there was the fantastical looking white-haired woman clad in strange clothing. She was probably the one I'd seen in the morning. The fact I'd seen her twice made it likely that she was indeed real, but with how mysterious this place was, I couldn't rule out the possibility that she was an illusion. According to Chiemi, the little girl was being looked after by someone in the village, so I could only assume that the white-haired woman was the one. If I counted the little girl, it would make that Yasumizu had 13 inhabitants. Then there were the 2 journalists, Hisako Mamiya and Yudai Hashimoto. Add me to that and you had a total of 3 outsiders, but I'd put that aside for now. Anyway, time for an assessment. Yesterday morning, a little girl strayed into Saranaga. To make it worse, no one, not even herself, knew anything about her. She instantly got branded as an ill omen. The next day, Chiemi, who was in Saranaga for some reason, found me there. They recognized me as a proper lost person, but since I came through the Saranaga, I was also branded as an ill omen. From what Kiyonosuke Nosatushi said, it was safe to assume that it was used to be customary to throw people like us into Saranaga. And then there was the mist. The girl said something mysterious, prepare for the feast when the evening mists arrived. I could only assume it was related to the same superstitions. After all, the mist came from Saranaga itself. It and the river seemed to be central to the local customs and ideas. With that in mind, how is it dangerous? What's going to happen now? Yomi Bito is in people from Yomi? The ancient Japanese land of the dead? Dead people came back through Saranaga and they were corrupted. And that gave room for some wild ideas. Was there some sort of pathogen in Saranaga that rose up with the mists? Did it turn people into zombies? Was I about to be part of a Japanese Resident Evil? Wait, I was already Japanese, and it was called Biohazard. Fuck. What if you had a 10% chance of being infected by the mist, but 100% chance of being infected by another person? That'd explain why everyone here had to isolate themselves away like this. If I became a zombie, I probably wouldn't have the mind to unlock the door. So basically, by locking myself in here, I was quarantining myself. I hadn't put all that much thought into that, but that seemed like a good story. Sure, stuff like the boulders and the walls didn't fit anywhere into my idea, but it was still interesting, you know, very interesting. Then again, I knew this was Hicksville and all, but would a superstition like that science could explain away so easily really survive the modern world? It seems so weird. Get in there, lock yourself in this inside the whole night, don't make a sound. Don't make a sound? To be frank, the reason why I spent so much time in these delusions was because I was scared of things I don't know or understand. In the past, people used to attribute stuff like natural phenomena and diseases to gods, devils, yokai, and then do nothing but fear them. They were scared of these manifestations of monsters and whatnot, but on the other hand, it was better than not seeing and not knowing what they really were. The fact that you could die to things you couldn't see or understand made life really unreasonable and unfair. That was why it got that's why it was very logical to give things names and mental images in order to recognize and memorize them. My fear of things I didn't know was the same, except I wasn't satisfied with just labels or hypotheses. I needed to reach the truth. That aside, what I was feeling right now wasn't a fear of the unknown. It was a realistic, practical fear of something that could endanger my life. Get in there, lock yourself in, stay inside the whole night and don't make a sound. That meant that outside lurking that meant that outside lurked something dangerous that could hear sounds. Perhaps it was a so-called dead that rose up from the river. Or maybe, assuming I was right with my Saranaga sickness theory, it was people who came out and beat the shit out of all the diseased who didn't follow the rules. The wolf is coming. Maybe the wolf was a title given to the killer? Suddenly I heard a scream in the distance. Well, I can only go out and take a look, which is good. Fucking great. Wow. That was some timing. Right as I was about to form a new hypothesis, the proof connecting it all suddenly came to me, and it was right outside. It had gone really dark. There were no limp lights anywhere. The darkness was fear. Unperceived equals unknown equals dangerous equals scary. Thinking this place was dangerous. Dangerous equals scary, 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 scary. Scary things were scary no matter how much logic you applied. But I couldn't discard my desire to get to know the fear and conquer it. I opened the door and stopped in place. Night wasn't absolute darkness. No matter how dark or cloudy it was, the sky always gave some bit of light to us. However, I came to understand that it could be hard to see even if there was light. Everything I saw was covered by dense mist. Combined with the pale moonlight, it made the area seem milky. Just such a random adjective to use. It made it hard to get around. Regardless, I couldn't ignore the scream. There was something beyond this veil. I kept moving forward. Unless my ears were deceiving me, the scream belonged to a woman and had come from the right even. I couldn't let myself think that. Or rather, I didn't want to think that. The unknown was scary. Personally, I'd found that principle made my life really easy. I had more than enough fear from those which were directly threatening my life. I really didn't want to have the fear of losing someone as well. Change your line of thought hierarchy. Solving the mystery might save someone. Two birds with one stone. I began walking faster. Another scream. It was close. I realised I had to find a way to protect myself. I was unarmed, so I looked around for anything I could use as a weapon. I felt around to see if there were any branches or anything. Sadly, all I felt was grass. I went deeper and searched the ground itself. Soon I felt something hard. It was a rock. A moment of digging later, I took it in hand. It was a bit smaller than my hand. I almost teared up at how useless it seemed. It was better than nothing. I looked at the base of my feet and saw grassy ground. I could easily move forward if I first checked the ground using my feet. And since I might have been close to the danger, I had to focus on what was ahead too. I'd recognise the danger and, if possible, get rid of it. I concentrated entirely on that and stepped forwards. I couldn't hear the screams anymore, but I could hear other things. A wet sound, and the sound of something cracking. Ugh. Oh, that sounds grim. Because I know exactly what it will be. It filled my mind with countless things I didn't want to imagine. Even so, I kept walking forward, until I saw it. Oh, hey! Oh, hey, big boy! Let's just hide this so I can use this as my fucking thumbnail. He's a big boy. Big boy. Oh. My hypotheses were nothing but delusions. The truth was truly something you had to see yourself. But why? Why was this so scary in spite of being true? It wasn't supposed to exist. It couldn't exist. After all, it was a wolf with a humanoid body. And there's no such thing as werewolves. Except there is. The next morning, in a paddy field in Fujiyoshi, Yasumizu 3rd block, someone discovered a thoroughly mangled corpse. The clothes nearby led the discoverers to conclude that it was the traveller Haruaki Fuseishi, which means I got murdered. Fantastic. He's still moving. Strangely enough, I could perceive this particular moment. Ayomi Bito, purge him! And so goodbye Haruaki-san, I got killed, was finished off by the girl. The feast begins. The last thing I heard, I'll hang the wall. Was that? Okay, cool. Fantastic, we're dead. Oh. What's this mean? Wasn't that veiled arrival? Very intriguing. Key 2, Wolf from Resurrection. You can view this in the keys list. The route unlocked by this key is represented by the same number on the scenario chart. Okay. Game over. Fantastic. Bad ending number 2. Watch Hint Corner. Sure. What's Hint Corner? Oh, God. Hey there. You done about now, eh, Chief? Hey, me? Don't mind me. I'm just an insignificant interface character. You can call me Sheep. This is space between dreams. That bastard Haruaki Fuseishi can't see it, so feel free to kick back and relax. That said, you can't stay too long. I'm busy, so let's get down to business. As you'd expect of a Hint Corner, I'm here to give some helpful advice in your time of need. First, let's get you all the game explanations out of the way. While I said you done it now, just before you actually failed to arrive here from the start. I mean, you only had one chance, right? Choice, right? There should be one below it, but I had a lock mark next to it and you can't pick it. Oh. But just so you know, redoing Chiemi Serizawa's idiotic quiz is pointless. None of the choices would change a thing. I think it was just explained to you back in the tutorial, but let's review the... Okay, cool. So we're just reviewing the structure. As just experienced, blah, 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 blah. These keys. See, you can retain... Okay. So here's a piece of evidence. If you get stuck, try dying. Oh, that's interesting. There are many keys lying within the story's many bad endings. You can also obtain keys from some surprising outcomes. Of course, it's possible to get all the keys and finish a game without seeing all the bad endings, but I'll leave that up to your playing style. Cool. Good. As for bad ending 2, it's known as Toilet Man's End. You need key 2 to avoid it. There won't be a problem for next time. Did you notice you already obtained it? Okay, cool. You can check the details. Cool. But basically, knows from all experience he'll die if he goes out at night, and that's what makes the new choice possible. You'll find more bad endings that will force you. Okay, cool. Okay. Haruaki Fuseishi we sent back to the starting point after this. In other words, the scene at the start of the game with him on his bike. You can reread everything from the start if you like, but you're going to die dozens of times from now on, so it'll be a pain to reread each time. So once you get a grip of the situation, use scenario chart to jump ahead. You can jump any scene you've read before, wherever and wherever you want. It's really handy. For example, I can't be asked to do his voice anymore. For example, you can open the menu, go to chart button, go to queue, follow the screen, and then dismiss even right now. Okay, so I could literally just, go like here, here, then dismissed, and then this one? Yeah, this one. Oh, cool. Okay, that's cool how that works. Okay, so I'm going to end the episode here. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like in the section below. And if you want to see more of this, then do subscribe to the channel as I try to upload every day. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.